Right, so with the 8 minutes of battery I've got, I'll just have a look at this before we start up. I'm just gonna switch it off for a second. Right. A scrap Bosch WAA 24169GB -24. Whatever. But you can probably guess what's wrong with it. So I'm not going to put it on a wash. I'm just going to put it on a quick rinse and spin, just to make sure it fills up, the pressure switch works. Because if I put it on the heater, I'm probably going to guess it's going to blow something. Right, so it's happily filling with water. It's switched between wash and then softener, so the valve's working. Oh, by the way, there was half a liquid tab left in the drum. Although that also being said, I'm wondering whether they... And this is where I genuinely think it might have blown the heater. This has probably been running like this for maybe a wash cycle or two, and then it just blew the heater. Maybe. Which is probably why they've got the liquid tab in. Because, I mean, who starts a wash and then goes, oh yeah, we'll stop it now. But you never know. Don't want it for too long. Don't really want it to spin either. I'm not going to let it spin. There's no point. So long as it drains and starts to spin, then I'm happy. I don't think it will actually, because sometimes the disrupts it. Nice scrap machine. Well, it works. Right, it's time to cancel it. So, right, scrap. Right, let's test this then. Just picked it up and it's literally just coming from the van straight in. Right, it's the, and isn't my time? EWSD 61252. So this was the base model. Then you had like the 7 kilo, an 8 kilo, and then the 9 kilo, which I had, which was also the top, that was the top of the range model. But this being EW, so they were all EWDs, normal depth. This is SD, slim depth, about 45 centimeters deep. Right, I picked it up for really cheap for fully working. So, come here. So this should be fully working. Initial impressions. Actually, I'm going to show you something. So I put some powder in ready. This, look how clean it is. The machine itself is in mostly clean order. There's a little bit of a scuff there. That should just come out actually. Door seal is very dirty. Unfortunately, that is, yeah. We'll put that in. This was used by an elderly person, and so they were clearing out the house. So let's turn it on. Right, we're going to do cotton 90 cycle first. All the times are much shorter on this, in a weird way, because obviously the daily everyday fast is still the same, but if I put on like extra wash, okay, mixed colours is still the same, but cotton 59, which is the cotton 60 normal program of extra wash, is only 2 hours, where it's 2 hours 35, I think, for the 9 kilo. Same with the 90 program, it's 3 hours on that, it's only 2 hours 20 on this. And the eco program is also shorter too. It's kind of what you expect. So we're going to select 90 and let it run. Pump's fine. I haven't checked the filter. I normally empty the filter when I'm taking stuff out, but this time I don't know why I didn't do it. So we'll let that run. Right, something odd. This is a Bendix 79. That's my 7159. 7179 is the one with the detergent drawer. Anyway, puts it up in very good working. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So I can't even test it because that pipe is snapped. It even came like that. But very good working order. There's a load of black. What you'd think is carbon, except one problem. There's no carbon brushes on this. It's an induction. So what's going on? I think... Okay, so this runs rough. Let me just take off the belt. And then I'm going to spin the drum by hand, because when I spin this normally, it just kind of bounces around. I paid more for this than that. Ah! Look at that! Ah! I'm supposed to get it off! Okay, we'll try it this way. What? It's like it's there to stop it. What's that about? Just get off! I'm gonna spin this by hand now. And now it doesn't bounce around. The bearings are fine on this. Huh? So why is it bouncing around when it's in use? Also, interestingly, this is even more interesting now because watch, you can actually see what happens when this goes round. It's actually going up and down. It's pushing this up and down. I thought it just ran, when it turned round, it just kind of like pushed it up and down. But no, it's just kind of just going, The pulley's fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna undo it like that. Just leave it there for 5 seconds. And that's how your clutch works. So why is it bouncing up and down? And I guess it has something to do with how this works. Look how big that pump's bigger than the actual motor. How are you supposed to get it off? I mean, I can see how it comes off. It's got a Jubilee clamp thing. A very sophisticated one. But even so, it's just a bit overkill for what it is. That's fine. This might not be working. This is obviously what makes it go. What makes it stop when it's out of balance? I don't think it will. It's quite. Yeah. Off, on, off. There's more sort of low sensor on it, and then like cuts the time down because we're only like 20 minutes in. And we're about 30 degrees now. Alright, let's just get to the boil stage. What it's doing. To be fair, it's not even at boil stage. Look, I can do that. There's something wrong. Well, so it's now fully finished. Well done. Looks fine. Right, so I think this is a pre-wash. It was 95. Now I want to go straight to the door for the pre-wash bit. Pressure switch obviously works. Obviously it's not sudsing up in a minute, it's on the pre-wash. I didn't put any powder in, you're supposed to put powder straight in the drum for the pre-wash. I'd be interested to see if it heats, that'd be quite interesting. Interestingly, it's warmed up. It does drain. And then we'll move on to main wash in a minute. It's at full temperature now. That's interesting. Well, that might be the fault of this. So, that's leaked when filling with the fabric softener. So instead of actually going in the drawer, it's just sort of come down there. And I think it's just tripped the electric just. I did try to spin them. So... I think water's just gone straight onto the pump circuitry somewhere. Just tripped it out just. Right, let's put the towels in that were in the Bendix. Candy dryer. Right, this has been around now for some time, so we better get shut off. I've replaced the heater. So we'll just run a cycle. Actually, I'm going to put these in. I'm just going to go for broke and just put them in. Regardless whether it heats or not. Never know what might happen. Might actually work. But this has a different heater to that's different heater to basically all the other candy dryers that we got. So the wiring's all different. So on this one, the wiring is looped in like that. So you got one loop, whereas so it goes through one and then out the other. So there's only one heat. So God knows what synthetics and acrylics does. Might switch on and off cycle the heater, possibly. Whereas all the others have twin heats, basically. So they have one and then another parallel circuit. The sensor is fine, still running like new, as I should expect really. Straight up to 1200. Creator dryer's just finished up there. That's my daily run of Creator dryer. Bosch is not sorted out yet. Bosch needs taking bits and starting again. But I've actually got like 2 hours battery life now. But this is we're getting there. Now this keeps. We're getting there. You can see all the way through to the other end, which is quite surprising. Never got that in the old. So this Hoover washer, Hoover 6 with the ever slightly worn bearings. It's full of all the dirty towels and rags that we use in the workshop. When I say we, it's in my workshop. And then this Creator dryer is one of the daily runners, so I obviously repair more washers than I do dryers. So when I'm not got a dryer to use, I think they're near enough dry. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe another 10 minutes drying. But the start button doesn't work. I did replace it and it just blew it straight away. So there's some weird something going on. Like a lot of you will know about this dryer. So the float switch was it lifted out completely and was tripping, and so it was going straight. It was drawing way too much power and tripping an electric straight away. So just plugged it in, bang. Sorted that out, and then for some reason the start relay on this, it blew, and then I put another one on, and it blew that pretty much immediately. So I gave up, and so basically that's just taped down. to make it work. This tape's taking ages to take effect, so I kept taping it, it kept pushing out. Now I put this clear tape over, it's actually kept it in. It's working now. I'll just run this till it dies, basically. No point turning it on. Come on. Come on. Focus! Stupid thing. Right, and then this is the Bosch one that I also run as a secondary. Well, this was the primary one. It fully works, but it leaks. Really stupid common issue with Bosch. After a while, fluff builds up in the back. So that's sort of down there, behind the condenser, beyond the condenser, and then there's obviously a tray where you collect before it pumps back up. It's basically the little groove where everything goes into, that gets clogged up with fluff, so all the water kind of drips down, but then it has to go through the fluff, and it builds up so much it starts just leaking out on just over, and that's what it does at the minute. But it fully works. I can't fault it. It just looks terrible. Look at it. Look, that's actually chipped. It's gone. That's broken now as well. It's got paint on it. It's very yellowed as well. Also, again, what's going on here? It looks like maybe... Is that handle newer than that? That handle newer than the door? Which is possible. And then we're going to keep the big whirlpool here for forever. When I get round to it, if I need to wash the duvet, big duvet, I've always got this here. I need to sort of leak out, I need to fit a Jubilee clamp. From the factory they used cable ties, and cable ties made of plastic, obviously, and then they just end up sort of wearing out. So that needs replacing. Oh no, it's a really nice machine. I prefer this to the R-size ones. Like, that's 10 kilo. That's technically a 10 kilo, it's 9. It's the same brand as, like, the Maytag's brand as a 10. It's finished. Looks like it's drying. Is that drying? Fine. That's interesting. It won't let me select. Oh. Why is the capacitor all of a sudden decide to just go on me? What's that about? What else? utter rubbish. This is great. You share it on Instagram and it fixes itself. Yay! I wonder how long for. No, it is working. It's fully working. What's that about? Okay. Pause. That's on pause. Ah, right. Give up. Give up. Right, this wasn't recording either. Everything's not going right tonight. Anyway, this started, say burning, it just smelled like dust burning up. And I had acrylic synthetics on, and basically that's now hot. So the heater is working, but I've wired it incorrectly somehow. The wrong way round. Anyway, let's get this candy in. What the? It's like I have a friend. Anyway, let's plug this in. So I got this from a colleague at my day job. It's only 3 years. Well, it was 3 years old when they gave it me. It's probably now 4 years old. I think it's been sat around for 12 months. Have you looked at it yet? No. There's an engineer out to it, not me. But what I couldn't understand was why the engineer didn't fix it straight away. Because all it needs, the way you're describing it, was this worked as long as you push the drum. So that will be the capacitor then. So why didn't the engineer just stick another capacitor in? Now, this is like a basic thing. When I talk to somebody on the phone, it's like you would ask them, what is it doing roughly? So you got a rough idea what it's going to be. And, you know, many fixes are cheap and simple. This just needs a capacitor, so why don't you just do it? Apparently, anyway. So we're just going to double check. I'm going to stick it on. That. In fact, that buzz is even less than that one. So this is apparently what happened. But it's still actually running? That's so bizarre. Yeah, so apparently they had it out. The guy left the lid off for them to push the drum dryer. Yeah, that works 5 or 7 minutes until it stops again, and then wants to go the other way, and then apparently that starts happening. I'll just show you this. So we've taken the maxi 10 I used to have and a black 9 kilo one I had as well. Now the board on the 9 kilo was broken, and the 10 kilo one originally a heater, but also it just ran really rough. Like literally everything needed doing on it, like all the rollers and the main rear bearing and stuff like that. And I don't know, whatever. It just ran rough. But turn it on. So I'll tell you what's happened now. What's happened is originally the E22 board problem. It used to run for about 5 minutes before this board error kicked in. What might have happened is, yes, it did used to heat, but the last time it did it, it might have been the last time ever, and it decided to take out the heater, so the heater's now gone. In the meantime, so we've got to get that changed. Like, really? Every candy I have is like problematic. Ugh. Every one. I should dig out a candy washer that I still need to like work on. It's already like 4 things changed on it. You know, so I like the carbon brushes, I know it works. Then the heater blows after 5 cycles. Then I changed that, and now it. Oh, and the belt was stretched. Changed that. Oh, and now it's tripping electrics. Ugh. Right, I'll change the heater on this. Hopefully it'll be okay, and then we'll test it. Right, let's plug it in. Now change the heat. Well, I should just change the heater. Yep, it's fine. The other Maxi 10. Oh, no, well, shall I say the old Maxi 10, which is down there. That had a new heater originally because it had an E15 code. So that's now had the same heater and the same board. And it's still a new heater. So, well, let's try it out then. But definitely working and leaking. Seal needs to reset really. It's not resting properly. It is here, but not really around the top. But it is nice and warm now. We've only been running for about, well, 1 minute. Right, let's take a look at results. I don't know why it's still dark. I haven't turned the light on. Yeah, they're actually dry perfect. Like, actually spot on perfect. Not over dried, not under dried. There was literally only one drip when I'm drying. Bit of fluff. Nothing in the tank yet. Yeah, we'll put some more washing in and we'll go from there. Looks like it's perfectly working actually. The sensor is working on this. Right, this isn't a wash race, but no, so this isn't a wash race, but it will be later on with these 2 machines. I'm just gonna give them a clean out since they've been sat around for like, I don't know, 2 years. Who knows? I don't know which one I've tested. I think I've tested that one. Don't know if I've done that one. So, just put them on cotton 90 programs with drying of 30 odd minutes. I'm sure I've tested both of them. I don't know which one I've shown you. So, it'll do its thing. For a brief second now, I wondered why that had a high water level. But that's just flipped into cool down just, so that will be why. I don't know what's happened during the cycle, but not only is it just tripped the electric, or the RCD, the whole lot's gone on this side of the wall. The other side is fine. But one thing, so obviously these were racing together. Now they would have followed the exact same pattern of wash, rinse and spin, since there was obviously nothing involved. But they would have got to the drying part, the drying stage. And there was only maybe a couple of seconds in it. But there is, whatever reason has caused these two to trip. This one is nice and hot, and this one is ever so slightly a little bit hot. Maybe not at all. Only a little bit. That one's really hot. So if this one was the head when it tripped, I'm guessing this one's actually the cause. Or, more than likely, and this is a bit of an issue with the actual electrics themselves, so the might have to be looked into. The problem is, maybe there's an earth leak within the actual circuit, and it's tripping the main fuse for this side, because you got a 30 amp fuse. And a ring main, you can actually have 30 amps going in one side and the other. Fine. You're only on like 10 amps, even with the dryer on. Probably looking at 10 amps. So you're only taking in 20 amps, and we've got 30 max. So what's going on? If both of these are fine, then the problem lies within the circuit. So tomorrow morning, because it's now night time, I'm going to have to, and I have no access to the electrics, might have to get a spare put in to the outside of the other unit. 'Cause it's a bit ridiculous, really, having to reset the trip every time. And it's only on this side of the wall. It's never on the other side. But not only that, it's running a newer fuse on the opposite side. So I'm wondering whether that's been put in, thinking that's the problem, and it isn't. I'll have to see what happens tomorrow morning. Now, let's see which one's tripping out. I'm sure I tested this. I tested that one. Fine. And since I got the hottest, I'm actually thinking that's actually working. So just check this one on its own. Turn that one on. About half an hour. Hold on, I just realised something. There's no fan. Oh, there it is. Ooh. That'll be why. So it looks like I didn't test that. Oh, I'll switch it on. So I'll unplug this one because it's no good. Go get the spare fan out. and put it on. It should sound. See, I knew I tested that one because it was quiet when I tested it, but I must have just not tested the. I must have tested the wash side, but not tested the drying side on that other one. So we'll place the fan on that and then go from there. And I want to get it replaced because at the end of the day, this is not a very good looking machine. It's in terrible condition. I want to get it moved on quickly as. Whereas this one, I don't mind keeping. It's in much better condition. Right, so that works. Now I put a fan, and I've actually put the heater on as well. Nothing wrong with the heater, but it was just easier just to swap the heater over as well at the same time. No water in the pump, so it would be why it's rumbling. So it looks like it actually starts putting water through the condenser unit first. But it is design flawed, so this is the actual design of it. The water pipe sits here, and it sprays water through there, which means the upper half gets covered in crud. Now this has actually been reduced, this is way worse than what it was, and this is the other, that Zanussi with the blown board. Now I've actually cleaned it out, but this happens as well. It's got this, like, relief, I don't know what this tube is, it doesn't really do anything, but it gets clogged up as well. At least on this one. The other one that actually came off this machine, I've cleared it, cleaned it, and that one was actually fine. But the thing is, if that gets clogged, there's nothing you can do. This is the old unit, and this is the old heater, but it doesn't, you could have just kept it. But watch how loud it is. Now that spins a lot faster. There's another thing as well, this belt's actually very slack, so that wouldn't have helped. That's it. Can't tell if it's heating. It's not tripped electric, so it's okay so far. Touch wood. Yeah, it was cold. I've wired it up wrong. I know which way the wires go. I must have just pushed it in, thinking, let's go yellow, yellow, grey, grey. And I put yellow, grey, yellow, grey. Well, it doesn't work. Let's try now. Oh, I have so plugged in. Right, let's leave it running. So we've left the top off, and then we're going to use the gun because I'm going to be able to aim at the top. And they have a temperature sensor. It's set to, I think, 80 degrees centigrade. So what time is it? Okay, so we're definitely working now. Yeah. 42, 45, 39, depends where I point it at. Interestingly, the back's more cooler than the front. Liar, liar. Liar. Got 26 days. Got 26 quid. So I got about 67, 68, 3, 75, 79. Before it tripped electric. And annoyingly, I don't think it's a drying unit. I think it might just be a one of the sensors. But it doesn't happen until 80 degrees. Now, the only one that it's 80 degrees, there's only one sensor that does it. Yeah. This is a Siemens Series IQ 1834. It's very mouldy inside. Don't worry, it came mouldy. But I checked the pump. So basically, the pump doesn't work. Oddly enough, spin on memory 2. Spin's only 1200. Do you see? Pump should be on right now, and it's not working. Now, when I put my finger, I don't know why there's actually water in it, since I've already checked it. Good question. Just let that spin up in a second. But I'm going to get a pump, place the pump, and then it should be happy days. So 9 minutes in. Oh, well 10 minutes in actually, because it goes up to 27, doesn't it? I've replaced this front sensor. That's that one there. So when it got to about 80 degrees, it tripped out. And there is an 80 degree stat on it. So I'm wondering whether... So that's an overheat stat right there. That'll trip usually if you lose power. And then that's a monitoring thermostat, so that will actually tell the board where it's up to, if it's heating up or not, and that varies. And then that one, I think, is the actual 80 degrees stat, so that tells it to stop basically. We're a lot more further in than before, so it looks like we're working. Because it was tripping. Don't forget, this is tripping, but it wasn't going to Earth. Now, if something's not Earth, it can't go to Earth. And instead, ends up just drawing power instead. That is plastic. That is metal. And unfortunately, what happens is, if this has gone faulty, it won't trip to Earth. If these go faulty, they will. They'll actually go to Earth because it's metal. Metal on metal. There's no actual Earth lead on this because the actual Earth is there. That's metal screwed into that. And goes through that to the Earth. I bought one. I bought a Rapido. Supposedly in full working order. It even comes with socks and pants. Literally. But before I even plug it in, there's a couple of issues. Actually, it's not mouldy yet, which is a nice thing. We've got that, which is the same jet as the 13 kilo, but with a narrower door. So it should fill in the same way where it kind of just sprays in water. But if we turn the drum, that's the motor. That's the motor making that noise. It's... Now, I'm just thinking this, but I thought this has an motor, an inverter motor. So, coloured and synthetic 1 hour 57. That's there. R17, 57, 47, 17. Quite weird how this display's made. It's actually got the ones rather than the... it hasn't got 8, it's got a further couple in the middle there. So it's like to basically spell letters, otherwise you can't actually spell all letters with a normal... Like, let's say this. These only have standard 7-bit display, 7-bit digits, but these have more, so you can actually make letters with it. Eco 20, standard cotton, literally standard cotton program. 5 hours 16. Two hours 32. 1 hour 57. 5 hours 16. If I had a pre-wash, it probably drops it. It does as well. And if I take all the options off, it's probably just staying like 3 hours something. No, 5 hours 16. It's a lot more intuitive than this, and it actually goes back to how it should be. Looks like all the buttons are working as well. That's the first time I've actually used buttons where they actually react straight away. Interestingly, where's the 90 program? Oh, there, white. There we go, 90. Interestingly, it goes to 1,000 first, rather than 1,400. Bit of an odd one. And you can have light soil 90. Now, that actually got it corrected, because you can't have light soil 90, because it just does 60 degrees. That is corrected on the whites and pre-wash. If you select 90, it will only allow you level 2 and level 3. This one's allowing you level 1, level 2, and level 3. And obviously, we've got Wi-Fi menu. Day 39 in probably 55 minutes. Actually, they are 039. Thousand RPM. Mixed and coloured. 1000 RPM. 40 degrees. Oh, that's that hygienic cotton. Was it perfect cotton? But it goes to 1000 RPM. Oh no, that's 1400. Then we've got sports in 29 minutes. 1000 RPM. Can't imagine it being any different. Delicate's just a normal cycle, because if you select, say, delicates on this, it's even shorter. It's just there to fill a gap. Because it can even go up to 40, look. See? And then we got the savings, 14 minutes. 30 minutes and 44 minutes. There's a bit of a problem here. I mean, ideally what it needs to be doing is lighting up, because that's what you actually get with the other ones. So if you were to get something older, you used to do it. I think this goes up to 40 still. Does as well. So you got rinse and spin. 28 minutes. This will be interesting. I wonder if you can have not rinse. You got rinse. Oh, there you go. So you press that. That's interesting. So you got rinse and spin. Press it again, and you got drain spin. There's a coin in there. Let me listen to how rope this motor is. There's a coin in there. This is actually stable. It's not quite on, but it's not going anywhere. The only problem is I won't put any water on it, because right now that is all leaning on that. bike picking up even faster this time. Looks like it has a modded program sequence then. But I'm not too sure actually, because that might have as well, the inverter over the brush. Why is this not switched on? That's terrible. Called a speed drive motor, whatever that is. Top whack now. It's actually quite quiet in a strange way. Okay, I'm going to be honest. Like, it's quieter than that, but it's louder than that. So it sort of sits in between them two. It's still like a normal wash machine, really. This is probably like Candy's last-ditch attempt to, like, I don't know, revolutionise their washing machines for Hair bought them out. Is it Hair? Hair? Hair bought them out? I don't know how to say it. I thought that was at 1400, it's just going up again. It's, well, to say the least. Let's test out this little baby I've just bought for myself from another collector. I want to keep that noise. That's nice. Right, see if it works then. It should be sold and fully working order. It's quiet. That is actually filling through the drawer right now. So I'll let it do its thing. Oh, by the way, this isn't glass, it's plastic. So we do actually have a problem, and it's there. It's leaking from the seal. Although that is warm already. That's how quickly this thing eats. It looks like it fills up through the main wash for rinse, which is quite surprising really, considering that, you know, there's a direct fill from the pre-wash. Oh, the leak is a little bit better, but it seems to be that the higher it goes up, obviously, I suppose the worse it gets. So it's got another problem too. That's the pre-wash button, and it's still filling through the main wash. So this button does nothing at the minute. I wonder if the no spin works. Don't always find out. Put it on to spin. That's interesting. Oh no, spin work. Right, we'll test this in a weird way. So this is a rebuilt Indesit Adobe 7145. Not been plugged in yet until now. Plugged it in, it wouldn't switch on like I do normally by accident every single time. I'll wire it all up and just completely forget to put the connector block on the top control panel. I've done that multiple times. But it's switched on now. Anyway, filter in. Switched out the door seal. The only thing I need to do is screw the top lid in with screws that aren't original for it, because the original screws don't screw in. Yeah, for some reason, after you've undone the lid after a couple of times, it just doesn't screw in anymore. You're screwing a screw into bare metal and it just doesn't work. Anyway, we'll put some citric acid in and then we'll start it up. The Hoover's just having a run through. It's been sat around for what, 2-3 years. It's one of you've already seen before. I took the door seal off, bleached it and put it back on. But other than that, that's all it's had done. Oh, it had obviously the heater replaced as well initially. So pull that in, shut it up. All the kit on this side of the is how it should be. It's all standard, so that's why the lock's still the same. Well, it's the same one I fitted. Just make sure it all works then before we start wash racing everything. Got the kick plate in a minute, put that on. Do the same with the whirlpool as well, there is a kick plate for it. It's just a matter of just finding it. Right, let's have a quick look at this. I've bought to repair. It's a Siemens IQ300 WC46E381GB-43. The drum isn't going round because it's seized. I suspect that the belt has come off and then jammed itself behind the drum and the back of the cabinet. This dryer has been looked after by the previous owner, but when it broke, here's why I decided that they just get a new one. They had a Bosch Series 4, but they had the matching washer beforehand as well, so I said, as long as you're buying the matching Bosch Series 4 dryer, otherwise you're just downgrading whatever else you buy. This is pretty good. Well, program time 120 rather than 40. Outdoor lingerie, rapid 40. Wool finish. Ooh, I like that. It's got a nice chrome dial. And this one lights up white, not orange. So yeah, we'll have a look into that. Definitely temperature.